archaeologists. I'm the John Structor. I'm having a Star Ocean till the end of time adventure. This is flat. He didn't call security on us. Somebody else must have. So...
Bad guys?
Done some off-screen work so we can get back to the correct scene. Because this would be the fight where I died last time.
Flat, did you?
I didn't.
Freeze!
And as you may have guessed, there is no skipping cutscenes in this game.
Oh, Mom.
What do we do now?
Whatever we do.
I'm with you on...
Shall we?
Yeah.
Try not to get screwed this time, John. I didn't exactly remember where the cut was, but I guess a little bit of intro, add some context, sets the scene, as it were.
Surrender quietly!
I shall not. Well, what a fucking awful start. Hitting the target. Okay, I actually killed him really quickly. Fucking hell, I don't... They're really easy, but like... I had a feeling that might happen, which is why I did the cut like that, but never fucking mind. That's really annoying. Having to go for all that just to die is really frustrating. So, okay, well, let's use this opportunity. We're going to kill one robot along the way. But, like, they die so easily. That's the... If we get hits on them. Alright, it's you. We fight you, because...
What? An attack from behind?
I'm almost... I do have an idea, actually. Which is I'm going to put everyone... Oh, bar your manual. I should put lightning, shouldn't I? Boy. There we go.
I'd have preferred.
Well, we do that every time anyway. That's not the hard bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change everyone to manual, I guess. We are going to hide on the outside. I guess would be that. Then we're going to tell everyone to do nothing, I guess. I just want them to be spread out and ready to throw healing. It's a very strange tactic, but all I can think of doing. Obviously, just being stronger might be an idea as well, but still dislike heavily having to walk all the way there and tap through all the cutscenes. We'll see. There we go, and there's no enemies now. Don't ask me why I went that way. We are at the time gate. And again, no buttons. No way to quickly get through this cutscene. So please jump ahead. Game. Go on. Go on, jump ahead. Oh,
The G. So. Yeah, but
Well, that's...
Don't say that.
right, I cut ahead. Because I did that. That's about like 10 minutes worth. Let's try and not immediately die. Somehow. Maybe, perhaps, possibly. Because I don't know how much patience I have to do this constantly. But maybe we could do some training, you know? I try and add some survivability to our build.
Surrender!
So, first thing I'm going to do... Why can't we do symbology? Oh no, why aren't we healed? Fuck! You're an idiot, John. That seemed to work, though. Didn't mean to run in like that. Oh fuck, she still died. We got past the fight though, so that's all that's important. Scan enemy, Fist's Fury. Thank fuck. Ooh. Yeah, you got here just in time. Because I had to watch that cutscene twice. I had to turn everyone to manual and spread them all out as far as I can.
Damn you!
That's all of them?
That was too easy.
No, it wasn't, Nell. You're dead.
That was easy. I assumed everyone in 4D was tough, like the executioners.
I can't conceptually that very easy, though.
I guess the executioners are exceptions.
I think it's quite an interesting challenge for a fight. It didn't need to be behind literally 10 minutes of unskippable cutscenes.
I guess so.
The executioners must be specially designed for the Eternal Sphere.
I think you're probably right.
Here, this is for you!
I'm leaving it on the screen so it's funnier that the object's been in the air for longer. Put it fucking miles away.
What's this?
Oh, yes. I did see that. Oh, yeah, that's...
If you guys don't believe what I tell you,
Fair
then
enough.
check it out for yourselves. There's a special Eternal Sphere terminal in Jiminy. Go take a look.
Vlad, stop it this instant!
Fucking Vlad's mother. Oh, I pressed the mother button. It's too early.
Smart little brat.
Let's go to Gemity like Flad suggested, and figure out what this disc does.
There we go, got the auth disc. Yeah, I didn't want to accidentally skip cutscenes, I think, at the time. And I wasn't 100% sure how it worked. That's not a word. I wasn't 100% sure how it worked. What was I? Okay. You keep your mouth shut, Flad. Okay, we're moving on his mother. Okay. Anyway, me not being able to speak aside, let's let's heal everyone. That seems like it'd be very important to do. Yeah, I only book Mondays off work, because I don't go on proper holidays. What am I doing? First aid. I'm gonna turn tactics back on. The formation's pretty good, to be honest. Splitting everyone up like that. Might keep that. Yeah, it's also really tempting. The let's test out on this guy, even though we've not saved. Oh, we can't. Fair enough. What was I going to say? So I work specifically in the office Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and I work from home Fridays and Wednesdays. So I never book off days that I work from home because I don't want to have to go into the office. Huh. Arkives. I see what you did there, game. Oh, no, I won't. That would be... I'm very fortunate to have the job I have. It's not the biggest paying thing in the world. But yeah, but obviously, yeah, everything I stream is technically on record because it's on the internet as well. But, so I wouldn't be streaming this late if it was a work night either. I think they told me to go somewhere, but I've completely forgotten where. Is this person's house? Did I just walk backwards? I think that's what I did. Or was up there the house? Oh, now I'm just confused. That's someone else's house. In the future, we'll live in these circle houses. One's house would be like that PlayStation 5 demo with the ribbit. I've been trying to buy. I've managed to. It's taken me a decade, but I've managed to get to the point where I might be able to buy the cheapest stuff on the market. Like I've got enough random savings. But it's like literally the very bottom. No, this is where we started. And I've been doing it for the last 4 months. And obviously, there's been like a housing situation. But I've forgotten the words now. The percentage, it went up. Yeah, it's generally not a great time to buy, but like the longer I wait, the more expensive things are just going to get. My wages don't get bigger that fast. I have no idea where to go. Try the lift. Oh, this is where we started. Cool. Specifically, I want to work within driving distance of my actual office, and unfortunately, that's not where any of the houses are. And because this is a tourist location, everywhere is absurdly expensive. And I can't afford those places, obviously. Yeah. I have very few demands. Oh, there we go.
Looks like we can get to Gemity from here.
It's like a transporter.
It says Gemity is an amusement city. Wonder what it's like.
Don't know. We'll just have to go find out for ourselves.
I'm in a flat that the price hasn't gone up either in the last couple of years, so I'm kind of lucky there. But that's only because I live underground and it's damp, and I'm pretty sure as soon as I move out, they're fucking Emmett's buying second homes. As soon as I move out, I don't think they can rent this out to anyone else, because I've got a wall over there, and it's a wall that never dries. Which is an interesting feature, but not one that is fun to live with. Yeah, it's not great. No, I'd kind of like to save. Is that a thing I'm allowed to do, game? Ooh, a shop. That's also good. Oh, it's the inn. Perfect. Well, my money's good here. I tried buying a place recently. It was a house that's been cut in half. Because again, I'm never going to be able to afford like an actual house. And I really liked it. Like, it was quite long. But specifically... Sorry, I just read that. Its kitchen and bathroom had a wooden wall, which meant that nobody will actually lend me money to buy that place, because it's a bad place. I was like, oh, but it's been the only place I've seen that's been a human-sized place. Let's see if I can. Also, this place vibrates sometimes because it's underground. Probably the train station has something to do with that. Although I haven't been able to prove that that's not just my imagination. But if I move out, I'll find out eventually, won't I? And it always happens at times that people aren't here. Yeah, it'd be nice if in my office, because I'm one of the oldest people in the office. There's a few people around my age getting their first homes, and everyone younger than the office is just like, yeah, it's just never going to happen. It's a terrible state of affairs, to be honest. So I feel a little bit guilty that I sort of gave up, and I might have been able to get somewhere. I say nice, you know what I mean. Reasonable a couple of years ago had I been paying attention, because I didn't realise I'd suddenly earned enough for the banks to lend me more money. Wait, in a housing market crash, what happens is I found this out. If it all crashes, the houses will get a lot cheaper, but the rate, the borrow rate will go through the roof, which means the only people that'll be able to afford houses are people that buy with cash only. So not even a housing crash will help, because you need a housing crash and you need a lot of new houses. They need to build houses. Oh, there's a zip one here as well. And obviously they're building houses, just not in fucking Cornwall. This does look like a nice place to be. We in RPG town. So this was the city geminity, the Vlad was telling us about. Yes, yeah, it does. It's like an amusement park. Looking at this, like, because like I don't mind the half house sizes. Although I kind of wish. Obviously, it's really weird having buildings that were clearly not designed to be cut in half. It'd be nice if people built homes knowing that a certain person needs to live in that size place. Also, this is my one unreasonable demand. I'd quite like a kitchen with a door. Like, I like the open plannedness, but I'd like to just be able to not have the fucking kitchen always be on. It's just like, but that's a luxury I'd like. I don't think I'm not sure if I'll get that, but I'd like it. Yeah, it is more electric as well. No time to gawk. We have to look for the terminal, for this eternal sphere that Vlad was telling us about. That's right. Oh, is this a shop? Cool. Load up on some fresh sage. Oh, it's for... Wait, what? That sounds amazing. That's all my money, though. That's also really good, but... I think I have one. Lavender... Sage... Basil... that sounds good. That would be all the money though. We'll get 4 of them. Yes, yeah. It's the same people that say you just gotta knock on the door of places. They've got jobs for you. Gotta give it a personal touch. Write a lovely letter. And you're just like, no, nobody accepts. Everyone goes through these same no. I used to work in a place called Shoe Zone, which sells shoes. They're fucking terrible. And we once had actually somebody write in quite a funny CV and be like, oh, that sounds like a great person to work with, and just the manager was just like, no, we want cookie cutter, no personality. That's a red flag right there. But like the idea of somebody, you know, proving to Shoe Zone that they've got they would get up an hour earlier to work at Shoe Zone, you know, this sort of thing. Let's say, no, that's not how anything works anymore. I'm lucky I'm not on the dole, though. I was 10 years ago for like a few years as well. Because, again, Cornwall, not the most jobs in the world. But, like, it seems like it's gotten a hell of a lot worse as well. Yep, it's just... I don't blame offices for this, but it's like weirdly, it's just really inconvenient to have hand-delivered letters. You put it on your pile of letters and you deal with it the rest. But an email, it's... The workflow makes sense with emails and stuff. Just like, they all have emails, they all use agencies, and nobody's extra impressed by you hand-delivering the mail. Like, not the 40s where you're like, the butcher, it's the butcher and the butcher's apprentice, and nobody else is doing butchery. And it's like, no, everyone is competing with everyone. I also resented, what the fuck's this robot? The job centre making you write a CV that says, I work well by myself, but also in a team. And it's like, if everyone has to write that is meaningless. And what's annoying is our office, because we have to send out jobs, and we write that in. A team player. You got to be a team player to work here. Who's not? Who's not a team player? Who's the selfish prick? Like, I'm sorry, I'm just a selfish prick. You got to find me all the selfish prick jobs, for there are none. Like, we want somebody who can't work in a team, somebody who can't work by themselves. But so I distinctly remember, like, you want me to lie on my CV? No. But yeah, I mean, there is obviously better and worse CVs, but like, I'm copying. They print out 20 and hand them out to 20 different jobs, as if that makes any sense. Yes. Yeah, everything feels so old-fashioned. It's frustrating. And they'll never learn either. Okay. I definitely wouldn't have been able to afford these, but I have just spent all my money. Would like a laser weapon. But I'm sure if I'd crafted, I probably could have made more money, but at least see if I want it. So my dad's not too bad for that sort of thing. Like, he doesn't believe, like, my dad doesn't like computers, but he also doesn't like any systems, so he's never been like a part of that. He's a painter, so he's never like, how do I put it? He's never been tied down to anything, like the doll or any sort of office job or anything like that, which I sort of admire. But like, he's supposed to be retiring this year if they don't push up the age. So he's had to learn all the fucking computer systems. And he phoned me up once to ask him how to turn a laptop on. No, an iPad on even. Anyway, what's the point I'm getting at? So his particular thing is that, like, technically, he's like, well, everyone's got giant TVs nowadays. Like, you've all got it so good with your giant TVs and your so I'm pointing at a fizzy machine. I was like, yeah, but nobody has anywhere to live. Like, the technology's improved, but like, I keep telling him, like, there's the amount of like homeless people hasn't gone down, things like that. Like, those people don't have big TV. But it's one of those arguments you hear where it's like, well, everyone's got a mobile phone and a fridge. So you don't know, you've been born with your TVs and your fridges and stuff and your computer games. It's like, yeah, but people just want stability. They just want to live their life, and we were promised that if you do the grind, yeah, it's like the numbers. If you actually look at the numbers, it's really telling. It's really frustrating. So. It's one of the things I noticed playing Final Fantasies. It's not so much in this, because this is a different idea. Final Fantasy X, all the Final Fantasies before Final Fantasy 6, 7, there's a sort of invader. So the idea of those stories is there is this peaceful time, you have kings. Like Final Fantasy 1, there's a benevolent king going, go and destroy chaos. So that's the villain in Final Fantasy 1 is the idea of chaos. You know, environment is breaking down and chaos is causing that to happen. And of course, the nice thing about Final Fantasy VII is it's not chaos causing that to happen. It's corporations and stuff like that. But even Final Fantasy VII has an invader from without. It has an alien, a calamity from the skies. What I like about Final Fantasy X is it's the first proper one that sort of acknowledges, oh, that invader, like, is made up. The real villain, like, obviously you can't fight systems of control, but you can fight, you know, metaphors. The real villain in Final Fantasy X is Maester Micah, and I love that he's not even somebody you can fight. I like that Final Fantasy X is specifically about breaking a system. I enjoy that it's purposely doing the hero's journey only to fight the goddess rather than get the present. I mean, that still counts as the hero's journey, but I like the themes of that game just because it's the first proper game that says, like, no, the system's broken, you got to break the system. Yeah. I sort of enjoy that, not Jacked, that Seymour is kind of fucking with the party because he's the one person who knows that it's all meaningless. I mean, he's also insane, obviously, and his plan to kill everyone in the world is stupid. Like, I will have peace. How will I have peace? I'll murder everyone, and that technically counts, which is, I don't know if you've ever played a game called Black and White. Black and White, where you're playing a kind of a weak strategy game where you have a giant Tamagotchi-style pet. And in level 3 of that game, because it's... in level 3, they take away your pet, so you have to just play the strategy game. And it's really annoying because you can't move your forces outside your sphere of influence, so you just have to keep building up the sides. It generally wasn't a great game, Black and White. But I beat level 3. Instead of taking over all the countries or killing, I just threw a stone with my god hand and killed every single person in the world. And then, when everyone was dead, I had the most belief. All the people in my village still believed in me. So I won the level. It's like, via an absurd technicality of just murdering everyone else, there was nobody who didn't believe in me. And it's like, that's what Seymour's doing in Final Fantasy X. Trying to save the world via a bollocks technicality. If nobody's there to enjoy peace, Seymour, it's pointless. I think, because I've been playing through it, they need Jecht to be an abusive parent for the story to make sense. Tidus needs to hate him, because the whole point is he exists solely to hate a person so he can kill him. He has to be somebody who loves and hates equally, sort of thing, for that. But, like, the game wants to say, oh, he was an abusive parent, but also, he grew as a person, because, like, when he went on this journey, it's like, I feel like, yeah, it's like you kind of did neither by trying to do that. He was a villain to Tidus, though. Tidus is a person who, as soon as he meets any girl in the world, has nightmares of his father going, you talking to girls? The fuck are you talking about, Tidus? Which, like, sort of speaks to not a great relationship they had. And obviously, his mum chose his dad over him is also a bit of a dick move. But, so I don't mind that Tidus is a bit whiny. I don't mind that Hope is a little bit whiny either. They have pretty good reasons to be whiny. Obviously, that might not be the most fun thing to actually witness, but it does make sense in the world. I have no idea where I'm going again. Bunny race? I kind of do. Yeah, what's it called? What's Perfecta? Yeah, sure. I don't know what that means. Oh, what's these things? Speaking of Final Fantasy 7, it even has the banjo. Well, at least I know they're bunnies now. This is sort of strange. I guess I did click on the watch a race button. I just wasn't expecting it to be as complex. But also I'm still only just watching it. But I imagine, maybe, is there a mode that I can play? 22! I got 6 points! Yes, I think I do know, because I may have read about it ages ago. But, I think the real villain is Waka. Waka's the real villain. What am I trying to achieve right now? No, we went through this street already. I seem to remember it's got quite a weird structure because the gimmick is that you go around the world taking missions. Yeah, I'll forgive him for that. I just can't forgive him for ending up with Lulu. I'll never forgive that. I don't actually know what I'm supposed to be doing. I might want to... They said to go via Geminity, didn't they? Well, I guess I'll save. I was talking to my brother about Crisis, because I've been playing Crisis Core as well, so has he. And Final Fantasy VII Remake, having to be in the outside world. And he wants it to not be open world. No, sorry. I think he basically wants the original game. He wants being able to fly on a small sphere. And I don't think they'll do that. I think they're forced to make it open world. But like God of War open world, where you still... The cliffs are going to prevent you from going places you shouldn't be. I seem to remember there were like 3 different factions in Final Fantasy X-2 that all have different ideas of how to run the country, and that's the only thing I really know about it. And there's a camp lady that is evil. Because Final Fantasy X is one of those games that halfway through you go, oh, there's no map, is there? We walk everywhere, and that's kind of neat. But also... there's no map to fly about. And I mean, I guess 12 had that as well, but it actually had a world map that felt like a coherent map. Crisis Core is really fun for seeing locations that haven't been made yet. Like you can see one of the fights is on the farm, and you're like, oh, that's... Surely you'd be able to see Midgar from... Surely you'd be able to see Midgar. Midgar's fucking huge. It's like got a tower in the middle, and well, it doesn't have a gun at the start of the game, but like you should be able to see Midgar from the farm, but you can't. It's a shame. But yeah. Well, I guess that sort of breaks the so it's I never finished the PSP version, but it's the graphics are the fancy new graphics from the new games, and they've made the combat so it flows really nicely in a way that I remember the PlayStation game, PSP game not. I loved the episode Yuffie. I was a little bit skeptical, but I think they had some really clever ideas. I like them sort of using Yuffie as a sort of mini Cloud. Obviously, there's a massive risk of Yuffie being really annoying, which they managed to not do. I loved... yeah. I played Dirge Surface as well. They did having that guy not talk. It was a great decision. Nero should not say words. Did these all just teleport to the same place? That's what I'm getting out of this. Where does this teleport me to? I've not fought Weiss yet. But I'm planning on playing all the Final Fantasies. Oh, it just takes me here again. I may have to look up online where I'm going to go. I'm assuming, and I'm not the only one with the theory, is the reason they've done Dirge stuff and Crisis stuff is that they're going to turn up in Final Fantasy 7 too. Yeah. So the way I think about the Final Fantasy 7 remake is I say that every single Final Fantasy game after 6, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, there are 4 villains in those games. So you, if we pick Final Fantasy 7, those villains would be President Shinra, or, you know, just the Shinra Company, because they're boss fights, they can be representative, so Rufus is in that spot. So you have Shinra, you have Hojo, you have Sephiroth, and you have Genova. And those are the 4 different archetypes of villains that are in every single Final Fantasy game after 7. So you have the Shinra, the Tyrant, the King, the back of the box enemy, where it goes, there is an evil kingdom doing evil stuff, and you have the sort of rival, the Sephiroth, which is going to have the more personal story. You have the sort of godlike being, Genova, which has sort of meta knowledge of how all this works, and so eventually the Tyrant will stop being relevant to the story, but the Nemesis, the Sephiroth, never will. They'll just, the relationship between them and Shinra will become them and the god. And then the 4th is a character that is weak but has meta knowledge, the wild card, Hojo. Because Hojo, it's always somebody who's seemingly powerless, but actually, because of their knowledge of the actual events, will as soon as the Tyrant is no longer relevant, they'll go into the power vacuum and they'll become a villain. So the final 4 fights you in Final Fantasy games that have names are these 4 types of villains. And what Final Fantasy Remake has done, it's said, if we cut a game in 3, how do we have a narrative? Because the story doesn't end. How do we end the story a third of the way through? And their answer is to say we're adding a 5th villain that only exists in this one story. So all 4 of those villains, despite not making any sense, are represented in Final Fantasy Remake as well. You fight Genova inexplicably. You fight Sephiroth inexplicably. There's an entire Hojo section. Like, even though it doesn't necessarily make sense for those fights to end up there, they do, because they still like doing those 4 villains. But the Whispers, I think he will. The Whispers are the 5th enemy. And obviously they got to do meta commentary on the nature of fandom and going, oh, we don't want you to change anything. It's all very clever. But yeah, I think for the second game, 2 gimmicks. One gimmick, you will fall asleep as Cloud and you'll wake up as Zack. Because that's Final Fantasy VIII, and they are quite willing to pluck from future games and future in Final Fantasy VII. And the second gimmick is that Zack will not encounter the same. So Cloud will have the exact same plot point. Nothing will change for Cloud, apart from little things, but nothing major for part 2 of the thing. But Zack's story will imply that Genesis never got defeated in Crisis Core. So he will do the same journey as Cloud, but I hope the main villain for his thing will be Genesis. I think Sephiroth's, as in time travel, Advent Children Sephiroth, his plan won't actually come into fruition until the 3rd game. He's just going to walk around and be mysterious. That's my theory anyway. Yeah, I also do appreciate the bit in the original game with the fucking Midgar Solemn, where it's like, how the fuck did Sephiroth do this? Is amazing, and they've completely killed that by you having a stupid anime fight with him at the end of the first game. Which is why I tell people, no, you've got to play the original first, because it just assumes you played the original game first, which is cool if that's fine. You're if you have, but they keep saying, oh, it's fine for newcomers as well. My original theory before I realised about Crisis Core was that both Cloud and Zack would end up at the Temple of the Ancients, and you'll find out that the Temple of the Ancients is in all universes. That is to say, there's only one black materia and only one person can take it, so Zack will have to sacrifice himself for Cloud to take it into his universe. And Zack will only last one game. He will live and die. And there'll be Zack, Genesis, everything from those side games dies in that second game and will not be carried on to the 3rd. In the same way, we're not going to see any more of the Whispers. I've not actually finished it. I mean, obviously I know how Crisis Core is going to end. My money! So it's nice to see that guy again. I'm going to look up where I got to go, because I have no idea. I need a cup of tea. But yeah, it's weird that they're making people play Crisis Core, because that's a spoiler to, the fact that Cloud wasn't there. And people don't know that spoiler. Everyone thinks the spoiler is that Aeris dies, and it's not. The spoiler is that Zack exists. I think they're going to need to go back to the status quo at the end of every game, by the end of the series. But I see why people want him to live. It'd be nice. What's Blade Runner? The police officer who lives the origami. It's a shame he won't live, but nobody ever does. I'll have to look up the quote. I'll be right back. I'm going to look up where to go, because this is silly. Right, I have returned for the 3rd time. This time I've unmuted my microphone. Thank you for telling me. So, bloody OBS. Sometimes you click a button and it doesn't do all the effects. And I really should just check the program to see. Sometimes I have a little bar that goes up and down. It's just not set for Star Ocean. And I should just stop being lazy and set it for Star Ocean. I thought I had to go north. And north is not the direction I have to go. I have to go somewhere. Someone's north. There's an event somewhere. But yeah, I was just saying, I think Aeris dies again. I think the story plays out exactly the same way. As long as you... And all the new stuff is extra scenes. They'll tease her surviving, and she'll have to die regardless, I think. I'm just gonna leave and see what happens. I feel like we were told to go meet a specific person. And the game was... Yeah. I sort of resent that they've cut it up like this, so I have to wait 10 years. Oh god, this is such a big area to like not know exactly where I'm supposed to be going. Okay, that's... I thought they'd clarify what we're actually doing. Okay, my tea's still brewing as well, so I will go off and maybe look at another guide that actually tells me where to go, rather than just going, yeah, it's north, I guess, maybe. I think I was on the... although there's apparently some cash in one of these rooms. Okay. It doesn't look like I've achieved very much in this one. But at least I beat those dudes up. Thank you for joining me. I'm gonna go in here and again. Well, might be one of those rooms, actually. All these... Yeah, they're bunny. You can see it. The symbols on the ground. I don't know what that says. Eternal Sphere. Enter the Eternal Sphere. Access to any time period of the Milky Way is completely prohibited. Okay, is this what we're supposed to be going? Ryu, Nasi, Kiryu, one for us to stop between space and time. Okay, seems like I found it. I found something. And all it took was me reading the signs on the floor.
What do we do now?
I think we can change the settings with that device there.
I will say this.
It's no good. It's asking for an ID disc. Looks like you can't access from here unless you register first.
So this game has the that flat Earth, bloody hell, not that, God, blimey, flat world, flatland thing going for it. And of course, if you read Flatland, it's satire of the sort of Victorian or whatever fucking period it was written in. And obviously, you're talking about sort of storytelling, right? Stories within stories. But there isn't despite the sort of quite a postmodern twist, it doesn't really have much it wants to say outside of that. I'm trying to think. We'll see, because it's doing the Japanese, it's doing the JRPG thing of fighting God.
Seriously?
But it's just sort of chosen a different way of getting there.
And after coming all this way...
Hey, do you think maybe we could use Vlad's disc?
We're not quite there yet, though, so I can't quite judge it. And if Final Fantasy 13 has taught me anything, like, playing till the end, I mean, it might be a waste of time, but, like, there's value in seeing the ending and seeing, looking back and seeing as a whole.
Maybe. It's worth a shot. Maria?
Okay, this looks good.
I think it's quite hard because I get they want the story to be a little bit simplistic so it will mirror upwards easily, right? The two factions of war and the two factions of war and a third faction from above, just so the symbology works. But obviously they just sort of threw away a couple of the characters when the plot moved on. Oh, they both died. It was tragic. And I was like, there's some emotion there, but when you look back at the entire war that we spent ages with Ericliff and the other one, how it's all used for this one metaphor, and so I kind of wish I cared more about the actual space.
No.
What's wrong?
It authorized us, didn't it? What's wrong?
It's like Vlad said. The Milky Way is locked. You can't get in.
What should we do?
Excuse me, can I try?
Sure, I don't mind.
I do mind. She's going to use her alteration power. I've changed the background music.
Hey, how did that happen?
What's going on?
I can't believe it. I've got system administrator privileges.
Huh? What?
I just typed in the word password.
Sophia must have done something to it when she touched it. But how?
All I did was touch it. I thought maybe I could do something like I did with the time gate. I wished as hard as I could that I could go to the Milky Way. I'm sorry.
I love the idea of wishing hard. Just go, come on, wish harder!
You used the power of connection. You
Oh, it's
connected
connection.
us to the Milky Way. I can't believe it actually works in this dimension too.
At any rate, we're in. I'll grant myself access privileges to the Milky Way. Then I'll leave a Trojan that will allow me to access it whenever I want.
It's sort of interesting that obviously Trojan would be a Milky Way term as well. But that kind of makes sense because of that universe. Can we leave? This will tell us whether or not these 40 beings really created our world, won't it? Of course, I hope that it's not true. Wonder if Maria is okay. Okay, let's talk to Maria. You gotta see her. Found the Milky Way data, but it will take a little longer to input her personal data, so I would you have to wait a little longer. People of this world really are creators, and as long as they are good people, I accept them as gods. If they're not, then we don't need them. Isn't that enough? Maria's a mean typist. Thinks she might be able to be the second fastest in the universe. Wow. But if she's the second best in the universe, who's the best? Huh, well, I know one thing for sure. It ain't me. No? No idea. Yeah, she doesn't like being in a simulation. Game should be much easier to control if you just play it normally. We assume that everything the kid Flad said was true. For all of us to continue existing as we are, we must enter all of our DNA information correctly. Well, fuck. There were implications there. Metaphysical ones. Doing some typing. Second fastest typer in the universe. Just like that robot from Ghost in the Shell.
Okay, done. Where would you like to try to go?
Anywhere's fine with me.
Oh no, just pick a meal.
I wonder what Mirage and the rest of them are up to. I hope the executioners didn't get them.
We should delete those. Why do we have a choice?
So you want to check out E24 too? Okay, let's go.
Hey, this is...
This would be E24.
Unbelievable that we made it this far and we didn't even have to use the time gate.
Amazing.
I guess we have no choice but to believe what Vlad was telling us.
So we're really just programs? Somebody made us?
That's what it looks like, yes. I don't know what else to think.
If that's true, then the death of my father and Amina and Dion, that was all part of some program?
Alright, so I feel like this story is having its cake and eating it by stealing stuff from the Matrix. If you want to make you've got a universe in a bottle, right? And the implication is you can't control people with a joystick. They're very clear about that. You know, it just runs people's lives. Everyone's an individual program. That's sort of a weird thing. So, like, how would you do that? Well, the answer is you'd build it. You'd build a mini Big Bang and you run it, right? You just run the universe. But then, the idea that you could just insert stuff in that universe doesn't make any sense. Because it'd just be, like, functionally the same as a real universe. Like, the factoring program shouldn't actually make any difference. Because it's insanely complex to have a real an entire universe like this. Like, let's say there's no way of me knowing if I'm in an electronic fake universe, but like I'm just going to take for granted all the rules run like correctly because it's the rules we already study. It's gravity, it's the strong force, it's the weak force, it's electricity. But like, is the idea like that a god, because it's the same as like a miracle, right? To say, oh, now it's raining on this planet. That breaks the physics, like, that breaks the simulation. There are no seams of which you'd be able to tear.
Right.
I'm quoting another game, but if I say the other game, it's a spoiler.
But even if we are programs, we're still alive. We have to be.
But the idea then is, like, the Matrix always had this weird thing where jump into the program robot and they explode. And yeah, that's how I make computer games, because I use a program called Game Maker, and you can have, you have objects and you can put the programming in the object, but that's all illusionary. The program's all from a different layer. All we're seeing in my game is the information about what it looks like, because that's all that's sent to my monitor. There's no information contained in that. In the same way, like, if this is a simulation, there's no code in the object, because the object doesn't actually exist in front of me. That's just the drawing of the object. I'm not interacting with the code, I'm interacting with the rules of the code. You know what I mean? So, like, also... well, there's two sorts of simulations, isn't there? That's the problem. Because I could simulate. I could write a game where I could write SimCity and I could simulate all the rules, and you'd have individual. I don't know if they'd be individual programs. You'd be having like a population program, right? And then you'd have, because it's like it's all one big program, surely. And what's the difference, John? Because internally, a computer game, you can't just like collide two computer games into one another. That would break them both. Like, different programs aren't compatible in that way. You're not programs within a program, are you? That's all a part of the one. So I'm making 2 points. One, there's no actual real difference between a simulated universe and a fake one, because you'd have to make all the rules work. And if you make it electronically, you're not going to add additional work just so you can edit in a way that doesn't make sense. Like, then you've not done the actual work. It's not a real simulation. That's what I'm saying. There's simulations where it's like, yeah, you put a rat in a cage, right? You're simulating a test with that rat. And that's one type where you're playing a sim game. And the other type of simulation is like a total one. And if it's a total simulation, which a universe would have to be, then you're not having individual things. You're not running, like, a rat is your program and the cage is your simulation, right? But like, no, they're both the simulation. You've created an entire goddamn universe. Anyway.
If we see something as reality, then isn't that reality for us? Isn't that true?
Don't despair. You're stronger than that, aren't you?
I should grab my cup of tea, shouldn't I?
You just have to believe what you feel in your heart. Let's choose to believe, Fate.
Bought my cup of tea. I have one more analogy. So there's a game called Dwarf Fortress. It's one of the inspirations behind Minecraft. Recently, the guys managed to put it on Steam and improve the graphics, because it's possibly the most complex simulation game on the market. It's like ostensibly you are trying to get a bunch of dwarfs to survive under a mountain and brewing beer so they can just live. But like, it's so simulated that occasionally you'll have these weird things where cats can like lap beer up with their paws and lick it and get drunk, and that was never an intended part of the simulation. It's just that, like, all those systems for motivation, for like how liquid works, they're all programmed in. He's done it. The people that make a game, it's not just one guy, but like, obviously it's a remarkable simulation, and they're insane to have built it. But I don't think a universe would be built that way. That's like, getting him to just do Dwarf Fortress was so complex, and it has to be such a simple interface for that game to work, because of how much work you'd have to do for that sort of level of simulation. But I'm saying, if you simulate a universe, you're not going to build the component parts. You're not going to build a person. You're not going to build, our cars work like this, I'll simulate cars, and here's liquid physics. You would program gravity. You'd go fundamental. You'd build a Big Bang machine. That's what you'd create a new universe. Because the idea of building a universe the other way is insane. You've got a total universe simulation requires you to do an absurd amount of work, surely. Whereas you can do life on a machine where it propagates. You know what I mean? Anyway,
All right. Besides, if we give up now, we'll let down my father and the crew of the Aqua Ellie.
Right.
That's right. We're not done yet. We still gotta lay the smackdown on that creator for what he's done to us.
My issue with these sorts of stories is they are cheating. By introducing the idea that you can edit, we could bring somebody back because it's a computer game. It's like, you're implying the simulation is sort of too simple. Like, yeah, it's just a button and it's binary on, off. And it's like, well, you'd notice if a rule could be broken like that.
It's going to be dangerous.
Yeah, we have to do it or else who will? It's decided then.
Yeah, you're right.
But can we really beat the creator? A 4D being?
Of course we can. We defeated the security team, so we know we can hurt them.
You're right.
Are there very confused people watching the sphere going, the fuck? They just went to the
We'll
world because
just have to do our best.
they just left the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. My money!
Lightning! Be warned, I won't hold anything back.
That was fun!
All right then. What's next?
I think it would be fastest to go to the Sphere Company, the group that developed the Eternal Sphere.
Sounds good.
The Sphere Company is in that place they call the Lost City, right?
How do you know that?
That's right.
Let's go through the station to the Lost City. Everything that matters will happen after we get there.
Okay, so everyone can beam in? Or are they just watching and we can magically go in? There's a bunny. Should look for a save point as well. Oh, there's one. Hopefully plot. Yeah, there we go. Back to go. To the lost city. Have your names, please? No. Fate's Line Guard. Yes, sir, your real name? Sophia Steed. Rhea Trader. Fitter. Nell Zephyr. Peter Rossetti. Please wait one moment. Terribly sorry, but you do not have the proper access privileges to travel to the Lost City. There are off limits for transportation by those without access privileges for security reasons, so sorry. Some business there. Thank you for the time. Dram. What I would do? What can we do? Get the station guy out of the way and force a way in. We may be able to rewrite our access privileges. Well. Ah, there you are. Yes? Just got word from the Lost City you've been given access privileges. Huh? Someone going by the name of B. Blair? Has severe contacted me. This is an acquaintance of yours. B. Yes, that's what they said. And I was like, B? Oh, that's totally on the level. I'll do that. They said you'd know who they were if I told you it was an acquaintance of Flat. That's all I know. Flat! Yeah, the boy we met in Arkives. Oh, right. Acquaintance of Flat's. Who could it be? He did mention he knew somebody with the sphere. Blair, or something like that. It must be who it is, don't you think? Yeah, probably. We can trust this person, can't we? I wonder, could be a trap. Right, we should probably play it safe and assume it's a trap. Right. These people are who run the sphere, Eternal Sphere, so there's a good chance they know what we're up to. Yeah, but not like we have any other way of going to the Lost City. Even if it's a trap, we have little choice. You're right, maybe we should be grateful for the invitation and go! You say Sphere? That's the company that developed the Eternal Sphere, isn't it? I play that too, it's pretty... So people play it! How? I want to know the details. Allowed to go to the Lost City now. Yes, you are indeed. Your access privilege codes have already been rewritten. Go through the gate and you will find yourself in the Sphere, the Lost City. Isn't that... Oh no, it's Lost Sphere I'm thinking of. You can go directly to Sphere? That's right. Lost City is full of leading companies, mainly developers, the field of information technology. IT, as we might call it in the future. Travel is basically restricted to one destination in order to prevent spying. Is that right? It also makes it easier to ambush us. Exactly, if they block off the gate, it'd be easy for them to cut off all avenues of escape. Long of our eyes. Sounds pretty dangerous. We'll be fine, Sophia. Fate, Okay, let's go. Yeah, my brother told me he's never finished one of these games because they go on forever. Do you want to go to your home? Okay. I'll go to Sphere. Not often we get to transport people there, alright? Please enter the system. Proceed directly to the core.
I knew it! A trap!
Welcome to the Sphere Company Anomalies. I am Azazer.
Okay, so when looking up what to do, I got to see a couple of names, and they're demonic names, and that's sort of interesting, like that, because there's implications.
I manage the security department and report directly to the owner. I don't know how you managed to outsmart station security, but nevertheless, I bid you welcome.
So, the villain in the first game, the people with the Satan name was just a human that evolved in a slightly different timeline. And they weren't evil at all, apart from that one guy.
Of course. I cannot even begin to comprehend how characters such as yourselves were able to cross through to the real world.
What do you mean outsmart? You're the one who let us through.
Let you through? What are you talking about?
You didn't arrange that incident back at the station?
I don't know what you are talking about, but it's safe to say it had nothing to do with me. I'll have to look into this later. I just might find a rat or two in unexpected places. But first, I must show you all some of our hospitality.
Also guns.
Hospitality. Oh yeah, I'm sure you'll be very hospitable.
Lady, I was being sarcastic.
Yes, of course. Then again, the direction our hospitality takes depends on your willingness to cooperate.
What do you mean?
I'll be brief. We won't delete you if you agree to assist us.
Delete.
Assist you?
We find you extremely fascinating. Many of our developers over at the research division are deeply interested in studying you.
So we're to become your guinea pigs then?
Correct.
If we agree to be your test subjects, will you stop the executioners that you release into our galaxy?
No, that's simply not possible. The Milky Way has already been contaminated. That partition must be completely erased. You will be all that remains. There will be nothing left of your galaxy.
Forget it then.
You think we
The
actually
wrapping.
agree to that?
Do we have a problem here? What about your friends?
Yeah, we got a problem.
You got a problem.
How could we possibly let you do that?
Then you leave me no choice. I'll have to apologize to the research section later. I suppose it's only natural for dysfunctional entities such as yourselves to be deleted.
There's a weird close-up of his mouth.
Anyone without a fight.
Looks like
Fuck, man. You don't throw the stage on. Damn, I need to kill people so much. Oh fuck, I'm just really bad at fighting these people. This isn't so bad because we died. Right,
I don't know.
we're here again. I saved also after one of the conversations, just in case we die again.
What do you mean?
But
I'll be brief.
Assist?
We find you
So we're to...
correct.
I wasn't exactly sure where to
The
bring you
Milky
all
Way,
back, but
that part-
here we are.
Forget it.
You
Probably
think
here next time. Oh, dance! Oh, you're in a trance.
Yeah, we got. How could
Shove up, and get down.
Then you leave me no choice. I'll have to apologize. I suppose it's only...
Think we're gonna have to dance. Well, I put you in a trance. Jump up, and get down. Why isn't it to the beat? It's really weird. Oh, I forgot he had a thing. I'm really struggling with this fight. These guys aren't dying easily. Why fucking none of them died yet?
Lightning! Take that! Still fight.
Fuck. Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, that's great. Fucking one of them finally fucking died. Okay. Hang on, what did I do wrong? I should have healed him. MP. Oh, no. There's only 2 of them left. Oh,
Dark.
that's a difficult fight. We're gonna go buy some more stuff. I also hear there's loads of money in one of the houses, and you know what? Suddenly I feel like that might be a useful thing. Fucking hell. Might be a little underpowered, but like, it's their fucking stun. It's absurd. The clone generator. Alright, fuck it, I'm gonna try again. I reckon it was doable. Like, they have a lot more health than the other ones, but